guys, Yoda Code 43 here today with another car review for you. Today I finally got a chance to get my hands on a Ford Maverick for a test drive. This is a 2022 Ford Maverick Lariat. This one's an all-wheel drive model, and I'm going to take you through the options on it, show you all of the interior, all the features on it, under the hood, in the bed, and then we'll take it out for a quick spin. First, we'll do a little walk around, tell you about this particular truck. First thing I want to point out, right there, that panel underneath the Ford badge is for the adaptive cruise control, radar ACC, which is only available on, I believe, on the XLT and Lariat trims, not on the base XL. So let me bring that up. The three basic trims for these trucks are XL, XLT, and Lariat. Lariat being the top trim you see here. Prices start around $21,500 for a base XL. XLTs start in the mid-20s, around $24,000, $25,000. This is for a base hybrid powertrain. The EcoBoost adds $1,800, I think. Then you can get all-wheel drive, which I think is another $2,000 on top or somewhere about there. And Lariat start around $28,000 for 2022. I actually have a XLT on order, which has the FX4 package, which includes unique black painted 17-inch wheels and tires, slightly retuned shock absorbers, gives you the larger screen in the gauge cluster, which I'll get to in a bit, and FX4 graphics right by the taillights on the sides of the bed. So I mentioned the two powertrains. With that, we'll actually go under the hood of this truck, and I'll show you that. I mentioned there's a base hybrid powertrain, which is a 2.5 liter Atkinson-cycle 4-cylinder with a small battery pack, so the truck can run on full electric mode 15 to 35 miles depending on the particular vehicle. Whereas this truck has the 2-liter EcoBoost turbocharged 4-cylinder dual overhead cam, 250 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque. This one's an all-wheel drive model with an 8-speed automatic. The hybrids are all front-wheel drive only, at least for now. I'm sure an all-wheel drive will eventually be coming because Ford makes an escape with a hybrid all-wheel drive. But those are 191 horsepower, and they don't have an official torque number because of the combined powertrains. But it has a CVT transmission, continuously variable. Lots of space in here. They've really blown up the bodywork to make it taller in the front, you know. You really have quite the hood to look over, and you'll see that when we take it for a ride later. So more about this particular Lariat. This color is called Area 51. It's more of a blue. There's also a cactus gray, which is, well, honestly, it looks like primer gray that's glossy. The particular XLT that I ordered is called Cyber Orange, and I'll share a picture of another one that I saw recently. It's almost an exact twin to the truck that I'll be getting. I say truck, it's a unibody frame shared with the Escape and the Bronco Sport. Front-wheel drive based, as I said. All-wheel drive is an option, but with about the longest wheelbase that platform will support on this truck. And you can see there's no gap between the bed and the body. It's a 4.5-foot bed. Let's take you back there next. Lariat trims also come with these 18-inch wheels as standard, unless you go for the FX4 package, in which case you get the same painted 17-inch wheels I talked about. The taillights have a very cool little band that runs around them when they're on, and actually the headlights are different too. XL and XLTs are a full chrome silver headlight, whereas Lariats have these black bands inside of them, give them a little darker appearance. And the grill bar actually changes colors between trims too. It's silver on a Lariat, carbonized gray on an XLT, and just regular black plastic like these side badges on an XL. Lariats also get colored mirror caps, as you saw there. This particular one actually has a hard trifold cover on the back. This one actually has a spray-in bed liner now that I'm looking at it, which is highly uncommon, at least as of recently, because Ford had basically stopped doing the spray-in bed liners due to some supplier issues with them. So this is called Ford's flex bed system. They have big pockets in either side of the bed, that you can customize and do whatever you want with. This one has a bed-mounted outlet and a LED light to light up the bed, but from what I've seen, it doesn't do the best job of lighting it up, so there's a lot of customization options you can do in here, like running rope lighting up underneath of the bed rails up there. And I've seen, well, there's places in here to put like a 2x6. You can see at the front there's two little pockets up there and there for building a bike rack off of, for example, if you remove the front wheel off your bike. All sorts of different things you can do back here, really. And with the tailgate down, honestly, this is 6 usable feet. You can get a bed extender that flips out from inside as well. But otherwise, yeah, it's 4.5 feet as it sits. Oh, I forgot to note, there are bottle openers on both sides of the tailgate, here and here. I see this one also has the tow package, which changes the final drive ratio in the transmission. I think it goes from a 363 up to a 381. So higher numerically means slightly shorter gears, a little better acceleration, a little higher RPM on the highway, but not really noticeable, which allows it to tow up to 4,000 pounds. And the way you can tell that one has one, just by looking at it, is if it has your 7-prong and 4-prong plugs, not just a 4-prong. Or, you know, look at the window sticker. This one also has parking assist in the rear. Gas door is pretty typical Ford. Pop out capless fueling. I like this color, seeing it in person. I didn't think I would, seeing it in pictures. This one has Michelin road tires on it, 225 60/18 tired, Michelin Primacy all seasons. That's what they are. Then I like the 6-spoke design with black in the pockets. All these trucks have all full LED headlights, no matter which trim you get, but Lariats have this cool eyebrow that will also light up, and I'll show you that in a few here. Incandescent turn signals, front and rear, incandescent brake lights and reverse lights. I've already seen people upgrading them to LEDs, which is definitely a smart move, including the cargo bed lighting up top here with the third brake light. Upgrade those to LED and probably have a lot better visibility. So let's check out the inside. We'll start with the back seat. So I already have this seat pretty well positioned for myself. I'm 5'10", but I have longer legs. This is not a big vehicle. It's less rear seat room than an Escape, probably similar to that of a Bronco Sport, because of the want for a bed. So a rear-facing child seat, I've actually tested one in here already, and it's snug but doable for a rear-facing. My kid is older though, so he's got a bigger seat than, you know, an infant would have. But once he turns around and is forward facing, then it'll be a non-issue. The seat's actually, where is the pull? Here it is. So there's a pull right next to the middle headrest in order to get behind. Everything's left exposed back here. I see a missed opportunity for some sound deadening, but also it's kind of in the middle of the body. I don't really think there'd be a big issue there. You can see, actually, this one has a motor here because it has a powered rear window. Lower trims get a manual slider, which is fine. Amplifier on the far side for the Bang & Olufsen stereo system, which is available on the Lariat only. Looks like the toolkit down there in the middle. And then you have your latches here, 1, 2, 3, for forward-facing child seats. So if you were brave enough, you could put 3 seats wide in here. Center armrest. This seat won't relatch. There it goes. And it is navy blue and desert brown. Navy pier and desert brown, they call it. Something else to show you here. Under seat storage, which is awesome. I've also heard, well, I thought I heard that the battery was over on one side, but I know that wasn't the case. Maybe that's the case in a hybrid model. So if I sit behind myself, actually, it's totally doable. And it's not even uncomfortable back here. Yeah, my knees may slightly touch, but if I shut the door here, my knee grazes the door, but I'm not uncomfortable. Like I say, I'm kind of long-legged for my height. Not a bad place to be back here, really. Speakers are actually right next to your head for the back seats. They don't have any in the doors. Door handles are plastic, even on this top trim. But I like the bronze plastic. Your door handle pull is right here, which is cool. You can see this is designated for a water bottle, full-size water bottle, freestanding, lots of door storage. How's it to get out of? There's a little lift over down here for your feet, but it's certainly not bad. Doors sound decent. This one has Ford's keyless entry keypad as well. Pretty cheap option. A lot of people like it. This one also has blind spot monitoring, so it has Ford's Co-Pilot 360 system, so it has rear cross traffic alert as well as the rear park assist. The front door plastics, and for the record, everything on here is plastic except for the armrest itself. It doesn't feel bad. It might feel a little cheap, but honestly, I think it's built to survive. Front door speakers, B&O for the sound system. These seats are really comfortable. They look a bit narrow and they look short on thigh support, but really I don't have any issue with them considering I'm longer legged. But it's a really nice place to be in here. This one doesn't have a sunroof, moonroof, but you can get one, which would reduce a bit of headliner height, and it extends back to about the headrest area. Built Ford tough. And this one also has knee airbags under the dashboard. That's cool. You also see this one has a factory trailer brake control system. Another telltale of the 4K tow package is the inclusion of the trailer brake. You have your headlight controls right there, similar in the Escape and Bronco Sport. Steering wheel is also shared with them, so is the gauge cluster for that matter. There is no full digital cluster available for these, but I have seen on the forums people are retrofitting them to work in these, and they need some minor coding changes, but it's quiet. You close the doors, it's quiet in here. Visors are pretty typical plastic coating. They are extenders. They are actually effective. They go all the way to the back of the door. You sit up tall in here. You feel like you're driving a truck, even though you're closer to the ground. And like I said, you can really see the hood out over the front of it. All of the Mavericks come with an 8-inch touchscreen. Only the Lariat comes with the better sound system and the better infotainment system. It's a slightly lesser system on the lower model trucks, and that's okay. It does the job. There's no media other than Bluetooth to be used here. No SD card, no CD, no nothing like that. You have a cubby behind it and a cubby on the side that various things could be put in there. There's lots of storage, actually. Lariat only has the entrance stop-start button here. You have a power point, and then that's actually where your rear slider switch is, next to your USB plugins there. It's a rotary shifter, electric parking brake, auto stop-start, drive modes, traction control, and I think this is your auto hold at stoplights. If you like depress the pedal a little harder, it'll hold the truck still. Cup holders are nice and deep and grippy. Extra cubby here, another cubby there, a large center console, really deep actually, about 10 to 12 inches deep if I'm honest. Nice leather vinyl armrest here. The bronze continues across the dash. Looks good, it really does. It's well put together, honestly. The XLT is a bit different. It still uses the navy pier blue base, but instead of the bronze accents, it uses orange accents, and the seats are more of a, I guess a tweed pattern. I'll have to show a picture here. And they have orange piping. It's very cool. Wireless charging pad on this one as well. And then, like I said, this one has adaptive cruise control. Set your distance, turn it on, set your lane keep assist, volume controls, menu controls for your digital gauge cluster, 6.5 inch right here, and your tracker station skip, and then also phone controls built in here. Wiper stock is pretty typical Ford of this era. Yeah, everything you'd expect. So let's start it up. After I also note it has a sunglass cubby. Don't know if sunroof ones have it or not. I'll have to look. LED interior lighting as well, apart from behind the visors. Large glove box. Doesn't feel too cheap. And this one actually has full dual zone automatic climate control as well, fully digital. So let's fire it up here. It's silent, you can't even tell it's running. So full automatic system, heated seats, heated steering wheel, fan controls, zone controls, etc. I mentioned the rear slider window. Works good. Let's turn down that fan. There we go. Yeah, so it's very nice high resolution screen. It reacts pretty quickly. Nothing to complain about here. Nothing at all. No navigation available on the Maverick, but it's designed as a budget truck. Now granted, this particular one is, the MSRP is just a tick over $36,000, and it has most of the options, but like I say, it's missing the moonroof, maybe one or two other things, and that's it. However, the markups on these little trucks, as they're so hot, is absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure this one is listed on their website for $48,000. This is a compact pickup truck. That's like mid-level F-150 with a small markup pricing that we're talking about. So surpassing the Ranger, which if you fully load it is $50,000 if you order it, or just under $50,000. And yeah, F-150s are just out of hand if you count the real markups. Just tell them the truth here. This one's marked up way too much. It's like $13,000 marked up. So you've got your basic screen, which has full-time digital speedometer with your trip distance, mile per gallon, and time running. You have your running mile per gallon screen. You've got your audio. You've got your tire pressures. And then you're back to your trip screens. Yeah, pretty basic, but does all the jobs you need it to. I believe this is a Bluetooth microphone up here. I also learned on the XL trim, it does not have factory cruise control at all. You'd have to code it in and change the steering wheel to get it. And you don't get power mirrors unless you get the Copilot 360 package. Otherwise, you have manual adjusted mirrors that you have to adjust by hand reaching out the window. There's no rear defroster in these trucks, and some people complain about it, but honestly, it's a take it or leave it kind of thing. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the drive here of the 2022 Maverick Lariat. You'll note there's a low button here, really, that just keeps you in gears longer. It's kind of an acting sport mode, but not really. Honestly, it's for like downhill treks with a trailer, or you know, if you feel like you want it to hold on to shifts a little bit longer. I also think it only uses 6 out of the 8 gears. Without further ado. And for the record, I've already checked out the heated steering wheel and seats. It's 22 degrees out here today, and the heated seats were warm very quickly, probably within 2 minutes. I could feel them doing their job, and the heated steering wheel almost as fast. A lot faster than my wife's Land Rover Defender at home, which is surprising considering that has a cold weather package. Another thing to note is this does not have like a self-dimming rear view mirror, or a compass or temperature in the mirror, or nothing like that. It's just a basic mirror, even on this top trim model. Driving through town, it's very, very quiet. Absolutely nothing to complain about. We're going to get out to the highway and go for a short stint. You can feel the undulations of the bumps. Nothing is jarring. You move around a bit. You can see it in the camera, but I think that's just poor camera holding on my part. It really is a nice ride. It feels like a crossover in how it handles and drives. It feels like a car, it doesn't feel like a truck, but it looks like a truck. And if you don't give it a second look, you could easily mistake it for a Ranger, or some people even an F-150, apart from, looking at how tall it is, because it's not that tall. So from the factory, an all-wheel drive EcoBoost is rated for a 22 city, 29 highway with a tow package. I think it goes up 1 mile per gallon when you don't have the tow package, but not really a big difference, really negligible, honestly. The sound system on the top trim, the Bang & Olufsen system, is actually quite good. For a stock system. A lot of modern day stock systems are really quite terrible, and I've heard the bass system is kind of not great, but I didn't pay attention to it when I checked out the XLT trim a few weeks ago. I'm not really worried about it. I've already learned that changing the speakers is pretty easy, even all 4 of them, but not really worried about it. Typical satisfying Ford signal noise. Yeah, no squeaks or rattles in this model. It really does handle well. About 50% throttle here. It handles really nice. Now, I also noticed this one has Ford's sound screen windshield, which is really has an extra layer to help insulate sound better from the outside. And I noticed it. You can hear a little bit of wind noise from the mirrors and maybe around the doors over here, but it's pretty quiet. It's quiet for a modern car. It's quieter than my Lexus LS400. Granted, that's 25 years old, but that thing is built like a battleship. It's quite sturdy, and this is quieter than that. I don't hear the engine at all. We're doing just over 75 and 2100 RPM. Really nice low RPM on the highway, so should do really great gas mileage. Like I say, should be about 29 highway on this model. It's great to look out of. I like having the hood to see in front of me, help me learn where the corners of the vehicle are. It's a nice ride. It rides really well over the bridge expansion joints. No complaints to be had. Visibility is quite good. The rear view mirror is a bit limited by the small rear window, but no complaints if you just look back over your shoulder. It's a short blind spot. It's less than 12 inches, honestly. Hey, some sunlight. Nice to see in Michigan in late February. And honestly, the passing power with this 2-liter is quite impressive. At low speeds, it's shockingly quick. I think the factory rating on an FX4 with the higher gear ratio is 5.9 seconds to 60, which is shocking, really. That's fast. For a regular modern car, that's pretty quick. Anything under 6 seconds feels pretty fast. Here's a little acceleration video on the Maverick. That moves pretty darn good. I'm impressed. It's immediately apparent that it takes out the boost near red line, and you can feel it reduce the torque for different gear shifts so as not to, put too much stress through the transmission. Obviously, built-in safety. I know these transmissions are rated to some pretty high numbers. Certainly a fair bit more power and torque than this one makes, but, others will find out about their longevity in the long run, those that have already done, performance tunes on these, and some are doing more. There's a guy already looking at turbo and intercooler upgrade and stuff like that. Just wanted to show the key for the Maverick real quick. Unlock, lock, double click for remote start, panic alarm. Lights right off. Well, I promised you lights, and here are the lights. You can see the LED daytime running light freaking out up top. It doesn't flash in real life, it's just a faint LED. And you've got full LED headlights up front. Now out back I was talking about the accent bars. You have them up top and down below. That's only on the Lariat. The lesser trims don't get that. And actually, the license plates mount off-center. They mount over here, to the right of the trailer hitch. So, 2022 Ford Maverick Lariat. What do I think? Honestly, I don't feel the need for the Lariat with all the leather interior and whatnot. XLTs are cloth. So, and I didn't order a Lariat. I ordered an XLT with most of the options. I didn't order a sunroof, and I'm happy that I don't have it. Driving one without it, you know, I don't feel the need for it. It rides great. I've got plenty of space. I was concerned that I was going to have some issues with my knees crashing into things, but definitely not the case. I'm not a small person. I'm tall, but I have no issue sitting in here. I can sit behind myself. I know I'm not going to have an issue with a rear-facing child seat. Might even be able to get away with having two in here. It's getting great mile per gallon, just cruising around, driving in town, and then getting out on the highway. I've already gotten it up over 20 to the gallon, and that was going from nothing. And yeah, this thing's fun. I really enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy the use of the bed for sure. I like that it drives like a car, looks a little bit more rugged like a truck, and it can do some stuff. Until next time, see you guys later.